It's like the boogeyman. This is the reason why many retailers will say, oh, well, our consumers, they trust us.
Consumers trust the marketplace and the value prop of the marketplace, and that there's, enough quality and selection there that overcomes these kind of hesitancies and concerns.
Amazon has, I think, been able to overcome this without too many issues. We had spoken previously on the show about how Amazon product managers would go to third-party sellers, would say, hey, give me the purchase order because I want to verify that your products are legit. The product manager then goes directly to the manufacturer, sources the products directly from the manufacturer, cutting out their third-party seller from the transaction.
Right.
It's totally not okay, completely inappropriate behavior, complete abuse of the data that they're getting from sellers. So again, in that supply side, anti-competitive practices. We've spoken about that. But now this article from the Wall Street Journal says Amazon's heavy recruitment of Chinese sellers puts consumers at risk. And it says it wooed China's manufacturers to sell directly to the US. That is exactly what we were talking about, where they would go around they'd get the purchase order, they go directly to the manufacturer.
There are quotes in this article from people that basically that's exactly what happened to them, as I was selling this product and then they went direct to the manufacturer who undercut me by 50% or whatever it was. A,
from an anti-competition, antitrust standpoint, not okay. B, this is a common critique of where marketplaces can let the customer down, is for a lack of quality or a lack of vetting, or you just have bad product that your customers are buying,
right?
Whether it's fake or just poor quality,
or in some cases illegal. It doesn't meet regulations for certain kind of things like cosmetics or baby products.
Unsafe, right? Exactly, and that's where you've seen some linear e-commerce players carve out a play because they're linear and they say, hey, you are going to benefit from a more highly curated selection like Chewy.
I think you've seen that, funnily enough, in China as a big example. There's a big market for basically linear players that import things like baby food and baby products because a lot of Chinese consumers don't trust Chinese manufacturers.
Right.
So they want basically curated imported products for those kinds of things and are willing to pay for it.
Right. So where I think safety is a big concern. That could be for your pet. That could be for your child.
Some millennials will tell you they don't know the difference.
I guess like electronics, but I don't know. That's kind of a whole other thing. Refurbished electronics. Yeah, you've seen some select examples, some select niches of kind of the consumer retail spectrum where that curation helps. In large part, though, I would say if you're not in one of those product categories, then by having strong rules and standards that help and really strongly favor the consumer over the producer, the seller, Amazon has, I think, been able to overcome this without too many issues.
The journals made a big deal of what I think they say are like 11,000 listings they've found that have problems of some variety.
It's like 0.0001%.
Put that in context, Amazon has like 400 to 500 million SKUs. So it's tiny. But the interesting thing is that they said basically of the products they found that had problems, those 10 or 11,000, I think it was like 52% or over half were basically these Chinese companies that had come onto the platform within the last couple of years. So it's clearly a big source of where that problem is coming from. I think not too surprisingly. But I think within specific areas, it's an issue. But I think in the broader context of Amazon's marketplace, it's not an existential threat.
Yeah, because as long as there's not really a safety or security concern, you just return the product for free. They give you a label. It's very easy, seamless process of returning.
It's a customer experience issue.
There's really no questions asked on Amazon's part if this is a legitimate return.
Right.
It gets returned and you can drop it off at any number of places. It can come get picked up. It clearly isn't slowing them down. I think the Journal just likes to blow these stories up more, but it is interesting in terms of how Amazon, I think, has been able to solve this. What is commonly the gripe, where you hear from a lot of retailers that are very slow to open up their marketplace, like a Target.
Yes.
Right. Where Target's like, oh, yeah, we have a marketplace, but it's just a curated marketplace.
Well, it's really a handful of partners. It's not even really a marketplace. Just means that not everything isn't in their warehouse.
But this is the reason why they'll use, this is what the reason why, it's like the boogeyman. This is the reason why many retailers will say, oh, well, our consumers, they trust us.
Right. The problem is that most of those consumers these days really trust Amazon more than those guys because they're going to Amazon first.
And they understand the model and they'll say, okay, Amazon's going to take care of me and I can return it and they'll make me whole. I don't got to worry about it. It's an easy process. And so there's other platform mechanics that you can use to get over these hurdles. The idea of completely, the value prop of letting in millions of third-party sellers and hundreds of millions of third-party SKUs versus 11,000 SKUs. I'm taking the marketplace model.
Right. And there's a reason, I don't know the exact number, but certainly the majority of product searches online these days start on Amazon and not these retailers' websites. It's because
or even Google.
Consumers trust the marketplace and the value prop of the marketplace, and that there's enough quality and selection there that overcomes these kind of hesitancies and concerns. I think it's an unfortunate excuse that is, I think, in many cases has prevented retailers from winning when opportunities were in front of them.
Hi, this is Alex from Winner Take All. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the content. Feel free to leave a comment, ask us questions, and definitely make sure to join us on our next live stream.